Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about units. But before we talk about that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I'd really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So first things first, how many different type of units are there in game? You're going to notice that there are 3 farmable units. These are units that you can farm consistently, and you're also going to notice that on this blue colored unit, I've got a Fixa Natural or Natura. And these Fixa stats are extremely powerful, so if you have any of these Fixas on any of your units, I highly recommend you to lock it and save it for your own use, or you can sell it on the market. But as you can see, there are 3 different colored units and each unit does a different thing. Now there is a total of 6 types of units. However, we're going to talk about the 3 farmable ones because with these 3 you can farm for them indefinitely. The first unit is the blue one over here, Armour. Armour, if you look at the second page over here, gives you 6 PP. It does not give you HP, does not give you extra damage, it does not give you any damage resistance. It has the lowest defense out of the 3, but it gives you 6 PP. So this unit would be most suitable for your traditional caster. Maybe you main force and you're always at a safe distance, you have low HP, but you need that PP in order to deal massive damage. And so this unit will help you do that by increasing your PP by 6, which is great. The next armor is the red colored one, also known as the Cattleya. So the Cattleya armor has a lot more defense. You can see it's got 12 defense versus the blue one with the 8 defense. However, it is more balanced. It gives you 20 HP and 2 PP. So if you play a hybrid class, or if your playstyle sort of hybrid, so maybe you have like a hunter main class, a force subclass, or if you're playing something that needs balanced stats, then the red armor is something to consider. And last but not least is the yellow armor, also known as the Vialto armor. This one gives the highest defense, so it's 14 defense, gives 1% damage resistance, and gives you 30 HP. So the Vialto armor is, if you don't need PP, you just need to be tanky, you just need HP, then you should go with the yellow colored armor, simply because of the stats it gives you. However, keep in mind, these are just the base stats of the unit itself. You can also add in augments in order to increase specific stats. So at the moment, you can see that the armor is +0. At +0, it only has 2 augment slots. However, when you get this armor to +40, you will unlock another 2 augmentation slots, and the defense will also increase significantly. So why is it important to unlock the other 2 slots? Simply because by unlocking augment slots, you can add in additional augments, which can make you more tankier, give you more HP, give you more PP, give you more damage, so forth and so on. And thus augments are very, very powerful. A good example is my claws units over here. Now these units are base PSO2 units, so I made this way back when there was no NGS, and you can see that I've got 8 different augments. So when we go to the third tab, you're going to be like, Caro, that's not a lot. It's +7 HP and +13 PP, whatever. But if I click the plus sign for each augment, you can see that it actually adds a lot more than just the HP and PP. You can see here potency +0.5%, floor potency +0.5%, damage resistance +0.5%. Here is more potency, here is more potency, more potency, more potency, more potency, and even more potency. So what does all this potency even mean? It simply means more damage. What you can do is you can press F8 on your keyboard to open up your basic stat information and look here, weapon up. You can see that my melee, my range, as well as my technique damage is +28%. And this is because of my weapon as well as my armor all add potency. And it will show up here at weapon up. So I get a total of 28% all attack because it covers melee, range, and technique. So this over here is the power of augments. So it's very important to know that if you are planning to min-max, that you really should try to get a unit or armor with one of these Fixa stats and then max it out to +40 and put 4 of your most desirable augments into your unit or your armor so that it helps you a ton. Units really help you a lot in both damage and defense. So now let's move over to my second character, which actually uses New Genesis gear only. So I don't have the Cloud's units, which I had on base PSO2, which I can just transfer to NGS and become overpowered. I do not have the Cloud's units on the other character. So let me switch over to her now. And now we are on my ship 1 character. As you can see over here, she has 3 different colored units. It's not the yellow one, it's not the blue one, it's not the red one. There's 3 separate armors. It's orange, green, and pink, purple, magenta. I don't know what color this is. Now the special thing about these armors are you have to go out to the open world and break those 3 special boxes in order to get these armors. These armors are limited to 1 per account, but there's a workaround. You can sell this on the market. So the selling point of these armors are that they give you 1% more damage and 4 PP. So this is very offensive oriented armor. So for example, this green one right here, if we want more range damage as well as more technique damage, let's say you're playing a Ranger Force or a Force Ranger, then this armor might be in your best interest because not only does it give you 4 PP, which is great, but it also increases your overall damage output, which is really, really nice. The only issue with this armor is you can only get 1 for free in the open world. Once you break the boss, you get the armor, you're done. In order to get 2 more copies, you have to buy it off the player market. Now, the issue about this is the player market is volatile. You might be able to snag this off really, really cheap. It might be super duper expensive. And that is why I personally do not want to deal with these armors, because for me, Meseta is very, very valuable. I'm always running out of Meseta, especially on my ship 1 character, because she doesn't have weeklies or dailies to depend on, because my main, which is on ship 2, does all of it there. And that's why I stick with the yellow armors. Now the yellow armors, as we said earlier, gives us HP. But you might look at this page and you're like, wait a second, the yellow armor we saw earlier gave 30 HP. Why does this one only give 20? And why do you have 3% damage increase on melee attacks over here? And this is because of the augments. You can see over here, I've got the Alt Secreta level 1. However, I will upgrade this to level 2 later down the line, which will give me more potency as well as more potency floor increase at the cost of HP as well as damage resistance. So I'm sacrificing tankiness in order to gain more power. And you can see over here with Form Soul 1, it gives me melee potency plus 2%. So that is where this 3% comes from. So now let's talk about where to farm for these armors. When I press F10 to open up the map, you're going to see 3 main combat zones. Rezel Forest will drop the blue armor. The blue armor only gives 8 defense, however, it gives you 6 PP. Very good for caster classes. Vanford Laboratory Ruins will drop the yellow armor, very good for tanky classes, gives HP, gives 1% damage reduction. And Mount Magnus will drop the red color armor, which is the most balanced type, gives 2 PP, gives 20 HP, and gives 12 defense. So depending on what you want to farm, you just go to the respective area and you just farm there until you get the unit. Alright, now they're not going to drop like candy. You know, they are a 4-star unit, and units do drop less common than weapons, so do understand that. Okay? So in conclusion, what is the best unit slash armor? It depends. It depends on your personal playstyle. The best in slot for me personally is going to be the Vialto armor or the yellow armor, because I want to be as tanky as possible. I want as high damage resistance as possible because of my sword. I am not using a Resurger sword because I don't like the whole aspect of dodging in order to increase my critical damage or my critical chance, because as a hunter, I don't dodge. As a hunter, I face things head on and I parry a lot of the attacks and I block a lot of the attacks. And not only that, if we look at my weapon potential over here, it says increases potency at high HP up to a maximum of 5%. So I always want to be topped off at max HP in order to deal the maximum amount of damage possible. And thus that is why I prefer the yellow armors, because of the high HP it gives me, the damage reduction it gives me that safety net of being tanky, being healthy, and constantly being able to face things head on. And that is why the yellow armor is best for me. However, let's say that you're a caster, you're always super far away, you deal a lot of technique damage, however you need PP in order to keep casting your spells, then maybe the blue armor might be most suitable for you. And if you're a hybrid and you're a mix of everything, then maybe the red armor might be best for you. And of course, we can't forget about the fancy smashy orange, green, and purplish pink one over here. This is again up to your own personal preference and whatever you like. If you want to get that 1% extra damage increase and you're not hurting for Meseta and the market's not super out of whack yet on your ship, then you can definitely pick up 3 copies of whatever armor here that you like. Well, I guess you're buying 2 copies because you get 1 for free. Don't forget about that. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!
Can I say except you're welcome, for the heels